Morning guys, it's April the 13th. I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and once again I'm just going to run through what we're looking for in the markets for today. So let's start with euro dollar. Again, we just had an indecision day yesterday. Again, looked like it was going to take out the highs. A sell through 114.50 was a great idea. So well done for those who caught it. We were looking at it in here, and again it looked just very aggressive, just straight in rejection up there, and we have since come off again. So I'm once looking for that 113.20 to break again before we can look for the short side. Something has changed now, however, though. We have broken through this counter trend line, and this is what I do like about this, and it's the first time in this move going sideways that we've gone through the 200 moving average as well. So this is kind of key for me, and maybe we get a pullback into the 200 and a rejection, and then you see this sell off. But certainly watch for that 113.20 area. That's going to be key, but I think that the move is large should we get it. So where could we potentially look for? Well, if you fib this move, we're looking down to 112.75, which I've got as a good level of support, so potentially a good area to look for the fade in there. But other than that, I think maybe what you get is you get an overrun. So you get, because it's going to be a fast move if it breaks through, and then you get that push down to maybe sort of 112.80 area, 112.50 area. I think that's probably quite likely as well. So my overall view is that euro does go higher, but I just think we need another blip lower before we go and do that. I've got a nice moving average coming in. The 21 on the day comes in at 80 at the moment. So, oh no, sorry, at the figure, so 113. So maybe we just get that blip through. Looks like it's going to go through it, and then we hold and we come back up for the day. So that's what I'm going to wait for in the euro. I think that we do go through potentially. We have had two signs showing us now that today could be the weaker day. We've gone through that 200 and we've gone through the counter trend line. So that's what I'm looking for euro for today. Okay, so cable. Let's have a look how that closed yesterday. Okay, so yeah, an indecision close yesterday for that one. What it's done in the past when it's had an indecision candle, well, it's had another quite a good day. So what we could say here is that that's a bit of a high test up to 143.50. I think that certainly could be called a high test. We certainly spotted that as an area. It was a 127 fade up there. Perfect trade. My favourite one. So I'm actually looking for this now to potentially go through this trend line that I've got in here. So if we just extend this, I'm looking for this to go through this line, and as soon as it does, that's when I think it's clear that we then play the short side. It is still making lower highs and lower lows on the daily time frame, so we have to look for cable on the short side, and hence why I like that up there yesterday. But certainly what I'm going to look for today, you can go for a smaller time frame entry. We are, as you can see, pulled back to the 50% on the fib retracement. So what you could look for is just for that a nice lower high to be made, and then go through the lows, and then we're looking for that as a first key zone down at 142. But through 142, then you're looking considerably lower. So that's what I'm looking for cable today. It probably might, well, it's likely to go and take on that trend line, and we could see a nice move down in cable after yesterday's high test. So that could be a good one as well. So maybe a short in cable today. Dollar yen had a really nice recovery yesterday. Indecision day, and it was just the forming of a nice morning star. So I do like that on the day in dollar yen. So let's have a look at it on the 60-minute. Yep. Okay, so it's sort of like a bit of a double bottom pattern here. So you've got that second one. I mean, the second one's a bit slower, but certainly it is one. So you get up towards, this is a key zone now, up towards 109. You managed to go through a 109, and then I think you can probably start to play these fibs. Pull back nicely to the 38. So the first target's up to 109.40, which is where the 200 moving average comes up in, and I could probably see that getting there. I'd expect a little bit of a bounce, as this is the 127 here anyway. I'd expect a bit of a bounce here, but then certainly I think a push through and up towards 109.40 I think is probably quite a good idea. What's the moving average on the day? Yeah, okay, no, I like that as a buy. I think that looks like quite a strong buy. And you've got the 127. It made sense for it to hold there, and has done. So I quite like dollar yen as a buy, maybe up to 109.40. Okay, dollar CAD. Dollar CAD's another interesting one. Nice for such a bearish day yesterday. That's what's kind of stopping me wanting to play the long side. It was very bearish, and I've not really got any support down here yet. My support comes in at 126.80, so still got a fair way to go with this one. So ideally what you'd get is you get this to break to the lower side, so maybe this hold here, and you get it a straight push down to 126.80, which I think then is a very good buy zone. So what I'm going to be looking for in dollar CAD is actually not to buy it today. I thought when I came in that was a nice double bottom on the 60-minute. Yes, it is, but the higher time frames are telling me that this wants to go lower. And 126.80 for me is a good level on the day, so I'm just going to wait to see what happens there. Maybe we get a rejection. It's had a go at the highs, it's rejected, so I'm just going to see if I think if you get another false break above it, I think it's probably valid to take a small position up there, and then maybe watch it go through the lows and add on a break through the lows. So that's what I'm going to be looking for dollar CAD. I think 126.80 is probably a very good zone for that to get to as a target. Aussie dollar. So Aussie had a really good day actually yesterday. So we thought that this could be the right shoulder, but it could actually just go straight through. That's a very, very bullish close in the Aussie. So let's have a look. So this was, I knew this was somewhere near its D. Yeah. Okay. So we hit the D. Let's just put that in. So you probably count. Yeah. We said we wanted just to go through. So that's probably, I'd count that as my D hit now. So maybe you do get that pullback in the Oz back to 76.60, which is a level in there as well. And then you get it push up. So we've finally completed on that. We're at the 127 as well. So I think maybe a pullback to 76.60 is probably quite likely today in the Aussie. It makes sense for it to go back there. So you could see the Aussie come off early trading hours and get back there before then another bounce, and we then go higher in the Oz. It certainly looks like it was very, very bullish yesterday. And I do like that potentially up to the next level of 77.50, which is I think a really good zone, which is also the 127. So that could be a great fade zone if it gets up there. Actually, that's a really, really good zone, 77.50, and I really like that, and I'll definitely look to sell some should it get up there. So it's also the DTR. So a few things lining up to tell me that 77.50 could be the high today, and if it gets up there, I'll certainly be looking to take a small short position in that one. Okay, exactly the same. Kiwi closed above a good level of support up there as well. So let's have a look what that looks like on that 60-minute chart. Okay, cool. So we're at the D now as well. So this needs to pull back as well. According to the fibs, we're at the 127, but that one has completed. So I like Kiwi maybe as a pullback into 69.15 and then go again. That makes sense. So maybe we get that small pullback when the Aussie pullback as well, and then we go higher. And certainly Kiwi looks like it should be pretty bullish as well. We found a nice area of support down here in the Kiwi. In terms of the daily chart, you found a good little round off, and we are making high highs and high lows now with the Kiwi, so you've got to be looking for the longer side in this one, I think, for the time being. So yeah, okay guys, I hope that's been useful for you today. As I said, looks like there's going to be quite a lot happening. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks very much for listening.